Hello. I'm super excited because Ladies Night is back again. And I know y'all missed us because we haven't been here in a while, but we are back and we are bringing it. So welcome to Ladies Night. You get the woman's insight. I am your host. I am First Lady Tammy. I'm here to indulge your mind in some lovely dialogue. And not only am I here, I also have some other lovely people here. So let's say hello to my ladies. Hello, ladies.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
It's been a minute. Glad to be back.
Yes, it is. It has been a very long minute, but I'm glad to see everybody here for our nice, lovely Ladies Night topic. You know, the new year is coming up, so 2021 is almost over. So yeah, this is good. We got it going before the year ended, so this is gonna be nice. So, Miss Petty Penny, how are you doing?
I'm good, as always. I'm good at all, as always. As always.
Of course. How are you, Mrs. M3?
I'm doing great.
Nice.
How y'all doing? We missed you.
Huh?
We missed y'all. How y'all doing?
We're lovely. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to see you guys on here. I'm excited about our topic for today. So I'm super excited. So,
yeah.
Queen, how are you doing, Queen?
I'm good. Having a great day. My brother's visiting me.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, I'm really excited. Got some friends over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
I'm gonna be dipping out early. I'll try to pop back in. So yeah.
No problem. Well, we got a very nice topic for you guys today. A nice topic. The topic is Ladies Night returns colorism. What does it mean to you? Yes, this is a real good one. We got a lot of great questions, and I know the ladies have a lot of great feedback to each of those questions. So we're gonna get right into it with our first question. Yes. First question, ladies. How would you define colorism? So we're gonna start at the top and work our way down. So, Miss Petty Penny, how would you define colorism?
I would define it as, I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know. I know it exists. I know that it's like, I would define it as a divide, if anything, between one group, I would define it as equal but unequal at the same time, because I do believe that light-skinned and dark-skinned people, no matter what, do face the same criticism, even though one could be looked at as more easygoing. But I do think that in other eyes, they they both possess a threat to the other group.
Thank you, Miss Pretty Penny. Before we get to you, Queen, we want to say shout out to 100 Watts. Says good evening, ladies.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Queen Dom, she says, have a great stream, ladies. Queen Dom, we miss you.
Where are you at?
She is busy. She says, light one for me, Luann.
You know I got you, boo. You know I got you.
All righty, and then chat talk with Brittany B. Yo, yo, yo. Nice to see you, Brittany B. Thank you for tuning in. And then we got MarioMarion. Nice to see you as well. He says, Hunter Watts, good evening. He's saying good evening to Hunter Watts. And the Queen Dom, hello. He says hello to the Queen Dom. So, yes. All righty. So, we got comments coming in, and I'm moderating for those who don't know. So, I'm hosting and I'm moderating. So, I'm trying to do this at the same time.
Somebody got some new stuff.
It's not easy.
No, it's definitely not easy, and I'm trying to make it work. Queen, let's go ahead and get to you, Queen. How would you define colorism?
Discrimination against someone based on their skin tone. So yeah, you're discriminating, you're looking down on, they're less than, so unfortunately it's something that we haven't lost from slavery. And I think it's something that is really hinders our community.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you, Queen. Hunter Watts says separation of a group based on skin tone, complexion. Interesting. Thank you for your input on that. Thank you very much. And shout out to Tony Montana. Tony Montana says, hello, ladies. Hello,
ladies. That is the best in the world, Mr. If you know, now you know. If you don't know, you know.
Who that is? I should have known. I should have known.
Really? He changed his name to Tony Montana? Why?
He's always changing his name.
That was his image for the longest time in his little bubble circle thingy. That was Tony Montana, right?
Man, he always got something different to say. All righty, Mrs. M3, how would you define colorism?
So I learned this week that colorism is a term that was coined or started in an essay written by Alice Walker. So it existed, but she kind of gave it a name. She gave a name to it. And yeah, it's basically, as Queen said, it's discrimination within a group of people. So you have Pan-African people. There's all different shades. Lighter shade of brown had the better treatment because you're closer to the massa color or whatever. But the same thing in every culture. The ones with the green eyes are less favored than the ones with the blue eyes. The ones with black hair are less favored than the ones with blonde hair. Colorism. That's what it is.
Interesting. Okay, thank you, Mrs. M3. Interesting. Okay, so I do think I agree with Queen, where you're discriminating against people that are the same as you, as far as you guys are both black, but because somebody is not the same tone as you, you have a certain perception about that person. So it is something that is common, a little too common, but I think it's something that's not necessarily discussed or talked about as much. So, and then you have it where some people say, black people can't discriminate. But yeah, you can definitely do some discriminatory things to someone that is black, but in your eyes is different because their skin is not as dark as yours, or their skin is lighter than yours. So I definitely think that it's a real thing, and it's something that definitely needs to be discussed. So thank you, ladies. Thank you very much for that.
I think they say black people can't be racist.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All righty. Knowledge and relationship says Tony Montana is now best in the world. Best in the world. And then he has no idea because he didn't put a question mark. He's like, I don't know what you talking what you talking about. Oh goodness. And then he says he's new to the channel. I don't know what lady is talking about. Okay. If you say you're new to the channel, we'll give you that. We'll give you that. And if you are new to the channel, you better like, you better subscribe, you better hit the notification bell so you keep getting alerted when any time that Knowledge Relationship is doing something. That is amazing. And you know when that is? That's all the time. So Knowledge Relationship says, sorry, he meant to say not best in the world.
I believe him. He's new to the channel, Tony Montana, because of the picture. I believe him.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, no, it's okay, Tony Montana. It's just we have somebody who likes to change their name all the time, so we just figured that might have been who you've been. But hey, you say that's not you, and that's perfectly fine. All righty. So he says I already did that. Interesting. Okay, so let's get to question number 2. I'm anxious for question number 2. Let's see what we got. It says, have you ever been affected by colorism, and in what way? So we're going to start this down at the bottom with Queen, then Miss Petty Penny, and then Mrs. M3. So Queen, have you, or let's even change a little bit, saying, have you or anybody you know been affected by colorism?
I don't think I haven't been affected by colorism. I do know people who have been, who are very dark. I have cousins who are very fair skinned, and people didn't believe that we were cousins because I'm more darker than they are. But people don't believe, I've been affected where people didn't believe I was Black. They think I'm Spanish or Dominican because of my curly hair. So yeah, so like Black people can't have curly, nice, silky hair. But anyway, so yeah, so no, I know people who have been affected by it, and almost to the point where I remember some older guys that were kind of like friends, like big brothers to me. They told me not to hang out with a specific girl because she was really dark, and it was like, dudes don't want to talk to her, whatever. She too Black, and that's like a magnet for them to stay away from you. So you need to not show up to the club with her, So I was like, what? Whatever. But anyway, yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for that, Queen. Thank you. We want to say shout out to DJ Eddie King. He commented, he said, hey, ladies. Hey, ladies. What's going on, DJ Eddie King? Chip. That's it. Yes. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, DJ Eddie King. And Knowledge Relationship says, hey, what's going on, DJ Eddie King? And then we got WT Funk is this. Thank you for tuning in, WT Funk. Nice to see you on commenting on Ladies Night. He says, I swear, watching the Proud Family as adult is completely insane. You know what? I haven't even watched it yet. I heard that it was coming. Maybe he's talking about the one that was on, because I know they're rebooting it and it's coming back. I haven't watched it like since it was on way back when. I haven't even like tuned into it again. But I can only imagine how it looks when you're an adult opposed to when you're a child. I can only imagine. So yeah. So DJ King says, M3, what's up? All righty. So next we got Miss Petty Penny. Question to you is, have you ever been affected by colorism? And explain in what way. So have you or anybody you know been affected by colorism?
No, not really. And for me, if so, because I'm just so just because I'm just a people person in general, I have realized that most of my friends are lighter than me. But none of them have ever made me realize it or said anything. So I'm just a part of the group, you know. So I don't really look at it like that because I just look at us as all Black people that are going through the same thing, you know. But I do understand that with that they do. With that, I do understand that sometimes light-skinned people can have a certain kind of privilege, but I think I really do think it's individually in this case because some of them let it be known, yeah, I'm red bone, I'm light because I can, you know, I can pass for white. You might have those kind of ignorant people, but when you just have a Black person who's whether they light with green eyes or light with brown, blue eyes, if they Black, they gonna tell you they Black all day, they hood. So they'll let you know I'm Black, you know. So there's no. To me, I guess I haven't been around those type of people. So no. So no.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Teddy Penny. All righty, Mrs. M3. Have you ever experienced colorism or somebody you know have dealt with colorism?
Yes. When I was younger, though, you don't really notice it or anything like that. You don't really, you're just a kid, you know? But as I got older, probably around my teens or so, I think, so being medium brown, you are sometimes the darkest, sometimes lighter. And so there are certain privileges and pretty privilege. Colorism is a part of that pretty privilege or outward appearance, whatever. But I do recall a time, and it wasn't me, and it wasn't even women. It was two boys, and they were, you know, teenagers, preteen, I think teenagers, and preferential treatment. Like it's a group, we all hung out, everything, whatever. There's only one seat left, and the biracial of the two were offered that seat. All of us know each other. We grew up together. We're homies, whatever. And he was offered the seat. And he looked at everybody and just like, you know how somebody sucks their teeth, like, y'all don't make no sense. I'm no different than him. And he walked away and left the seat empty and went and sat with them. I was like, that's dope. It was just I don't know, like a moment, like a pivotal moment for them. They're best friends to this day, I think. But at that time, he was like, this is bogus. Like, we all know each other. We're all friends. What are you doing? Like, no, I don't want to sit here either then, you know? So, there's other little subtle ways that people are, you know, they call it microaggressions about colorism and all that. Even, like, I've caught people before, they're holding, you know, a lot of, my family is all different nationalities, from Korean all the way to, Portuguese, et cetera, German, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you catch some people holding the baby, you know, babies don't have fully their color, you know, or whatever. They not ever grow into a different shade, but they're holding the baby and looking at their hand compared to the baby. Like, what the heck? You know, like, what? Why? But anyway, colorism. Colorism and all those forms.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. M3. So before I give my feedback, I'm going to go ahead and go through these comments. Everything Everyday podcast by Daryl Long is tuning in. Nice to see you. Says, peace to the garden and nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. Let's see. Tony Montana says, OMG. Hi, DJ. I love your music. It's hot. And DJ the King said, thank you, Tony Montana. Thank you, Tony Montana. Thank you very much. Okay, WG Funk says colorism is high in the show. And that's the thing is, like, I know that there are some.
Is he saying huge in the South? I wonder if that's a typo.
In the Proud Family, in the show.
Oh, in the show, the Proud Family. Got it.
Because I do know in the show there's some characters that are darker than others. So I could see that, and it's crazy because, you know, I do feel like there's a lot of things about in that show that are very real, when it comes to the Black community. So there's a lot of things you can see in there that's really going on. So so it's interesting for that to even be in there, because they're showing that even in a cartoon geared towards kids, they're showing about that, something that's going on. So I like the show because it does help bring out questions. If kids are watching it and they can ask questions based on what they see. And not every cartoon does that, but that's the crazy thing, is that when it is a cartoon, when it comes to African American characters, there are questions that can be raised, where if it's not, there aren't a lot of questions, because a lot of those shows don't deal with those serious type of topics. So I will say, as much as I love like the Cosby Show and things like that, the Cosby Show never dealt with any type of anything like that. Like, it was a real wholesome show about, you know, family where you had the doctor and the lawyer is the mom and the kids, and they raised the kids and they did a good job. But there was never any discussion about racism or color
No,
or
that's not
anything
true.
like that. Which episode did they have that?
They did have an episode on there with racism.
The older one.
I think it was with Rudy, actually.
Rudy, yeah.
Okay.
Rudy's older sister.
The girl told her,
Rudy's older sister, yeah.
Play with her because she was Black or something like that.
Oh, see, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Talk about it. They also talked about sex. I mean, so I think maybe it was more. I understand what you're saying. It wasn't really out there, but you could really see it. You know, they even had it where Rudy and Raven had this beef between each other. Oh, well, she gets treated this way because of her age. They made it. I think they made it of age. And it was like a dream. I think it was like a dream Rudy was having.
I think I remember that. I remember that one. I think I remember that one. Well, thank you for that, Miss Petty Penny, because I sure was like,
Well, that's my show, so I know.
They were, you know,
Bill Cosby, you know, he could jello me anytime.
I think the most disheartening thing about colorism is that, you know, it says that, you know, I think this is recent, but Nigeria leads the way with using bleaching creams. 77% of women use bleaching creams in Nigeria. 59% in Togo, and 25% in Senegal, and 25% in Mali. So, you know, it's our, you know, like it's starting in a country where it's all, you know, like it's the motherland. You know, you wouldn't consider that, but you know, unfortunately, it's something that is embedded in us. Like you have to be a certain way, your skin, your hair has to be a certain way, and you can't embrace yourself, you know. What's up, Eddie? Cheer.
Malcolm X put it in this way. He was saying it's because of the imagery that we see from the 60s, the 50s, the images that you see that were considered beautiful, serene, wonderful, all this stuff. There were no representation of African Americans. And he says, as a result of it, we were taught subliminally, imprisoned, that our blood, our African blood, was to be despised. And so as a result of everything that media portrayed and things that we saw, and they had it worse, right? Like they had all the caricatures with the big red lips and the dark skin and the hair that was sticking all over the place. Like they had it worse. That was the only imagery that they saw of African American on TV, with a diaper on, running around the jungle, you know, kind of stuff. Like, so he said it was psychological first, and that's what it made us look for those things, those lightning creams and stuff like that, because of the way that we saw beauty, or we were taught to see beauty.
As far as me, I haven't been affected by colorism. I don't personally know anybody that has, so I can't necessarily say I know what it's like. I don't know. I don't treat anybody differently. I mean, you know, to me, you Black, whether you light or dark, you Black. So you still going to experience racism. But yeah, so I don't necessarily, I just see Black people as Black people. So if you're light or dark or medium or whatever it is, you still gonna experience that racism if somebody decide they want to do something that's considered racist. So, so yeah, I've not really experienced it. I do know there's a show called My Strange Addiction, and there was a girl on there who she was bathing in bleach and all kinds of different things because she wanted to lighten up her skin. And it's crazy when somebody hates their complexion so much that they feel like that's what they need to do. So, I've had to have conversations with my daughter about, her texture and things like that, so she can learn how to love her texture. Because she's little and she's right now she's getting that self-image about who she is and things like that. So I've had to have conversations with her, but even she really hasn't experienced any colorism or anything like that. So, I hope even at my age of 40, it's still a possibility that I can experience that, but I hope to God I don't have to. So, yeah. So anyway, thank you, ladies. Thank you very, very much for that. Everybody had great information. Our next question is coming up. I don't get to wave my fingers this time because I'm clicking. So let me put it in. 1, 2, 3, boom.
Those fingers do magic for real now.
Right. So this one's a good one. It says, do you feel that women experience or demonstrate colorism more than men? Why or why not? So this time we're going to start with Mrs. M3, then Luann, and then Queen. Mrs. M3, what do you think?
Do women or men experience colorism more? Man, I don't know. Yeah, I have examples from both sides, women and men, that experience it. I think colorism is not so much of a sexism thing, but more like, within your culture, your own shade of people type thing. So I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. M3. Real quick, before we get to Luann, just want to let you guys know, if you're tuning in and you want to be on the panel, you are more than welcome to. The link is right there for you to see. All you got to do is click on it, get in there, and we will see you in here if you want to join these amazing ladies and give your feedback where we can hear you and possibly see you if you feel like being on the camera. So without further ado, Mrs. Petty Penny, who do you think demonstrates colorism more? Do you think it's men, or do you think it's women? Do you think it's equal? What do you think?
I do believe in this instance it is a woman, but it depends on how. Now this probably where colorism may play a part. It depends on how dark she is, because I feel like they feel like if she's darker, she's more aggressive. Her tone is more harsh. I've to look back on it, I have gotten that, but not just because I don't think it's just because I'm dark. I just feel like it's because I'm a strong woman, but it could be because of that as well. But I think that they look at that woman and say, oh yeah, she's too aggressive and she's too hardcore like a man. And so they may choose someone that they feel is safer. And that could be the lighter woman, not knowing that she can get him too.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Petty Penny. Before we get to you, Queen,
hopefully that answered the question. I'm not sure.
You're good. You're fine. You're perfectly fine. I'm not sure I shouted out Victor Free's music. He had said, "What up, though, family?" So we want to say hey to you. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure if you have not liked and subscribed, you do that, please, so you can keep tuning into what we're doing. But Queen, what do you think? Who do you think demonstrates, or who do you think demonstrates colorism more? Is it men? Is it women? Is it the same? What do you think?
I think it's women. I think women, we're very competitive. We're very catty. We can be messy and You know, I think men, if they see a dude, he looks cool, they be like, oh man, like his shoes. Like I don't know.
Right.
The dudes I know and I've been around, they just don't trip off of nothing. You know what I mean? As long as you show them respect, they're not worried about what the next dude doing. They not worried about what the next dude got. You know, unless they got some ill motive. But I think women, we go, oh, look at her. She thinks she cute with that on. You know, like she think blah blah blah. You know, I started reading this article about this girl who moved to from the East Coast to LA, and she was like, what's wrong with Black people like not even giving each other the head nod? Like
Right.
we don't even
Right.
speak to each
Right.
other anymore. And I really want us to do a show on that. But yeah, I just think women, I don't know. I just think we all have our own insecurities about something, and we project it on other people, you know? So yeah.
Right.
I think it's women.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you very, very much.
I agree with that, Queen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. I want to shout out Gold Crown 7 says, based on population of men and women, I think women face it more. Thank you for tuning in, Gold Crowns. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can keep tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Ladies Night. And also, Tony Montana had a comment I thought was a good one. And it was, if I can look through it, there it is. He wants us to give more details about colorism. So, colorism is, for instance, when you have a darker skinned person who doesn't want to associate with somebody who is light skinned. So, because of the fact that they're light skinned, or you may think that somebody who is light skinned has it better than you, gets more opportunities than you. In the case of women, gets more guys than you. Because the guys may like you better because maybe your hair is not as coarse as somebody who is darker. Maybe your lips are not big, even though you're not wrong with some big lips, because you know a lot of guys like that. So, but that's the thing.
The bigger the lips.
But yeah, so that's the thing, is that when you're discriminating against somebody, because of the fact that they're lighter, or you're lighter and you are you don't necessarily care to be around somebody who's darker because in your mind, if you're darker, that's a negative rather than a positive. So so that's what it is. So think about racism just in general, but then you have colorism is where it's within the Black community, where we are discriminating against each other because of what we look like on the outside.
But then also you got to remember that billboard ads, runway models, they didn't embrace darker skin. Like, you know what I mean? Lapita with what is it? Black Panther. You know, like they didn't embrace darker women. Like, so you know, like think about Josephine Baker, you know, and how she was treated, you know. So yeah, I think it's so deep. It's not even funny. You know, I don't know if you guys know about this little girl. I forgot. I think her name is CL or something. I'll try to link eventually her video. But she was like started doing modeling when she was like 5 or 6.
Yes.
That little girl ain't no joke. She was the youngest girl to be featured with her natural hair in a bush, like bushy, like she has coarse hair, you know. And she rocked the runway in, I think, one of these people's fashion shows, and she was the first and the youngest Black girl to walk, and she embraces her hair, and she is amazing. So,
and they actually, Miss Queen, they actually stopped the little girl from doing kids shows because they said she was too good.
Yeah, did you see her?
Yes. So not only did but they helped her career because the adults was like, well, baby, if you don't want her, we do. And so she's actually now she's like 14. She's like one of the best runway models out there right now. Yeah.
Nice.
So they won't even do her. She can't even go to the kitty. Who want to go with Kitty? Because she took that little The other little girl, I don't know what the other little girl was
Especially
doing.
the one when she had on that pink dress. And she did that spin.
Did you see that?
And then she backed up and did another spin. I was like,
go ahead, little Tyra.
Come teach me how to walk.
I knew that girl bad. Now y'all think Eva can walk? That little girl.
Yes. But anyway, I'm gonna dip out, you guys.
Oh,
no. Show. I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna pop back in. I just don't want to be, a bad hostess.
No, so, you're good. Thank you.
If y'all drinking a cocktail, Miss Queen, drink one for me.
Girl, I got my drink right here.
Matter of fact, drink two for me, okay?
Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. Bye. So real quick, so Mr. Best in the World is tuning in. I didn't want to interrupt the ladies because that was a really great dialogue that Miss Queen and Miss Penny was having about that beautiful, beautiful young lady who is doing her thing. But yes, Mr. Best in the World, he says, shout out to the ladies. Ladies Night is back. Shout out to DJ Eddie, to Vic, Darrell, and of course, M3. Knowledge and relationships. We in the building.
Yep.
Yeah, so DJ the King says, best in the world, what's good? And then we got Gator Girl. What's going on, Gator Girl? She says, peace to the queens on the panel and the at Knowledge and Relationships platform. Important topic tonight, very necessary, listening and learning. Thank you for always tuning in, Gator Girl. She's like one of the #1 fans of Knowledge and Relationships. We love her. Love her. And then wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say, Ms. M3?
She needs a top fan button.
Yes, seriously.
I know. Yes. Can we get one of those?
I know, right?
I don't know. I'd love to find out. So Knowledge Relationship says, at Mr. Best in the World, welcome back. Good to see you again. And then it says, men and women, you guys can join the stream. So if you want to come on in, you can come on in. The link is right there for you. It'll pop back on throughout the stream that we're having. So yes,
doesn't matter if you're black or light.
There you go. We ain't doing no colorism up on here. We love every damn body. Yes. Alrighty, Tony Montana says, yo, not he, it's she. OMG, LOL. Okay, Tony. Okay, so Tony, you
is a girl.
Can't y'all tell by the avatar?
Okay.
I thought it was, Playboy model,
Right. I'm thinking of Tony Montana. But hey, if you are a she, I do humbly apologize. I humbly apologize for that. So I definitely will make sure I say it correctly. Absolutely. Thank you for that correction. Knowledge Relationship tells y'all to get the likes up on YouTube. Like us on YouTube. Y'all get the likes up. And DJ the King says, Tony Montana, just ignore Tammy. What? She doesn't listen sometimes. Really, DJ the King? I listen all the time, okay? Just because, you don't want to always hear what I got to say sometimes don't mean that I don't listen. I'm a very good listener. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Okay, now your relationship says, at Gator Girl 04, good to see you again, sis. And then Tony Montana says, LOL, DJ. Gator Girl says, at Knowledge Relationships, peace and blessings, bro. Y'all doing it too official. Yes. And then once we get monetized. Oh, that's when we can get the top fan button once we get monetized.
The badges. Okay.
Y'all can help with that. Y'all can help with that. Help with that by getting, them getting them subscribers up. So go ahead and subscribe so we can get that monetizing. All righty. So back to our questions. Oh, did I answer the last question? I don't think I answered the last question.
Yes, you said no, you didn't experience that.
I do not. I think that it is women. I would say women because you have it where a lot of women, they don't want to, there's a lot of jealousy that goes on. Like Queen said, there's a lot of cattiness that goes on. And, even like in school, the school that I work at, I see it amongst the kids. Now, my school is not majority, Black kids, but with the ones that are there, you see it among the kids as far as them doing colorism with each other. So, as far as like the girls and the boys, you do see it more with the girls, because the boys, they'll hang out. They ain't even really tripping off of that. But the girls, because of the hair, because of the eyes, because of the look, they may think that, oh, boys like her for this reason or for that reason. So it's definitely I say more the women than it is the men. So before we go on to the next question, we got a guest in the house, y'all. We got a guest. We're gonna bring our guest right on in. Gold Crowns. Thank you for jumping on the panel. How are you?
Welcome.
Hi, I'm okay.
It's nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so since you are here, we are going to give you our last question and get your opinion on this last question. So it is, do you feel that women experience or demonstrate colorism more than men? Why or why not? What do you think?
Well, as I said before, based on population of men to women, I think it will be a woman.
Yes.
In that sense. But I cannot give a full disclosure as to whether it be men or women.
Right. You have an accent. Are you Jamaican by chance?
Yes, I am. Oh. Or do you know that?
Well, because my mother's Jamaican, so I'm very familiar with the accent, especially when she gets upset. So.
Oh my.
Yeah. Especially yes.
Yes, for me it is woman.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we're gonna get to our next question. Since you are, I will go to Luann, then our guest, and then Mrs. M3, and then I'll of course come in last. Our next question, number 4, it says, do you feel that colorism is not discussed enough? Why or why not? So Luann, you are first, and then we got our guest who's gonna go ahead and answer that question after Miss Petty Penny. Go ahead, Miss Petty Penny.
I do feel that colorism is not discussed enough. And the reason why I feel like that is not is because within the Black community, I think we don't want to actually think of ourselves as prejudiced against ourselves, if that makes any sense. So we'll probably just, have our little comments that we usually make, that seems to be acceptable towards each other and not really deal with it. But then when something big happens where the police officer who is a white man want to kill one of us, whether we're light skinned or dark skinned, it's a problem. It doesn't matter what color you are then. It doesn't matter if you are really light or if you're really dark. So that's why I think it's so we're kind of confused too. I think.
Interesting. Thank you, Miss Petty Penny. I like your response. I like that. All righty, Gold Crowns. What do you say for question number 4? Do you feel that colorism is not discussed enough? Why or why not?
No, it's not. In the sense that if you read newspaper, look at BBC, CNN, and all the popular newspapers, even the things which affect society, Black have not learned to accept their color. Black, if you look at history, Black was viewed as non-persons, as persons know the history. But as you go further, you realize that persons don't cherish their skin. Black don't cherish their skin color.
Right.
And they have a way to feel like there are other cultures, other ethnicities which are better, if I'm calling your name right, ethnicity which are better than they are. And for that, we have not discussed it enough to motivate them that, listen, it doesn't matter your skin color, you are unique and you are special. And I think that's what needs to be emphasized.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Gold Crowns. Thank you for that very much. Real quick, want to do this comment. Knowledge Relationship says, Gold Crowns, thank you for tuning in, bro. Subscribe and share this video to your homeland. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Montana says, it does. Sorry, this needs to be discussed more. Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. Absolutely. And MarioMarion says, at Tony Montana, you should join the live stream. Please feel free. Please, please, please feel free. If I can find that comment that says about, I think this is it. Kaboom! There it is. So if you want to join, please feel free to come ahead and come on into the panel. And you could definitely give your feedback where we can hear everything you got to say. All righty, Mrs. M3. Mrs. M3. So your question number 4. Do you feel that, oh, not that one. The next one, here we go. Do you feel colorism is not discussed enough? Why or why not? What do you think?
I think it's not discussed enough. I think that it's mentioned more often than it's discussed. Like we talk about it in like cafe, the Warriors, for example, right? When they were winning, oh, team light skin versus team dark skin, right? There was like,
right.
It was a thing people say, like, who are you going for, team light skin or team dark skin? And then there's, the era of light skinned men in the 80s, they actually acknowledged like art and actors and actresses, like, or actors specifically, like Ice-T and Shamar Moore and all those guys, and like, oh nope, here comes Taye Diggs, move over, like, like it's a thing that's like passe, like we just talk about it, but we don't really discuss it. So yeah, I believe that we should discuss it more. Yeah.
Thank you.
But we all know that Denzel baby is the finest. Okay, we just gonna say that.
And everybody, I think if we realize everybody's the shade lighter that's been in the house, right? 2020 put everybody in the house. So,
right.
We think about that.
They all wear makeup.
So I don't know if y'all watch. Well, I know Miss Petty Penny, you've seen Deaf Poetry. There's a poem on there. And the first, I think the title poem is Light Skin Did. And it's a really, I mean, all the poems on Deaf Poetry are good. That's a really, really good one. I wish I would have been able to have it on here.
Next week, because I got the tapes.
Yes. It's really, really good. I mean, Deaf Poetry in itself is just an amazing, amazing series. If you get a chance to, I would say get the DVDs, but people don't watch DVDs no more. But if you ever, like, they have different poems on YouTube that they have like the different poems that are done, but that's a really, really good one. Light Skin Did. That's really, really good. So if you ever get a chance to check it out, definitely check that out, as well as other poems that they've had on Deaf Poetry. But in response to the question, I don't think it is discussed enough. I definitely think it needs to be, but I almost feel like it's not discussed enough because racism just in general wants to be highlighted, which I definitely think racism should. But I also think that colorism is like almost like a subtopic to that. And I feel like it needs to be discussed, because if it's not, it's almost like people don't know what it is. People act like it doesn't exist, and it absolutely does. So I feel like when something is not discussed enough, people don't know enough about it. And then it's just kind of pushed to the side as if it doesn't exist. And then it's not treated like it's something that's significant and needs to be talked about and discussed. So I think that it's something that definitely should be discussed. It's not discussed enough because racism is just highlighted. And it's, where we have white people or other people, or, that are racist against people that are not, that have melanin in their skin, I'll say that, or if you are Hispanic, so they're discriminated against. But then we don't want to talk about the fact that in the Black community, we are doing some of the same things. So, and I do think it stems from way back, in slavery, where you had the house Negro and the field Negro. And, you know, and if you've ever seen the movie Queen, I don't know how, if you ladies and you Gold Crowns, if you've seen the movie Queen, it has Halle Berry in it. It has Raven Simone in it. It has Jasmine Guy in it, and it's about I think it's one of the sequels to the Root series, and it's about this this slave. She was light skinned, and she had a thing with the master, and he got her pregnant, and she had a baby, and so the baby was so light that the baby could pass for white. And so what happens is when her mother dies and she leaves the plantation, she portrays herself as white. And she goes about and she gets in a relationship with this Caucasian guy, and she doesn't tell him. And when she finally does, he beats her and he rapes her because he's like, he's going to say, I'll show you what you and B words deserve, because he was pissed that she's black and he didn't think she was white. So, and it started when she went into town. She was in a carriage, she was leaving, and this white lady talked to her as if she was white. So even then, it's made to seem like if your skin is lighter, you are better. And it carries on when you continue to do that with the people that you know, even with your kids. Even with your kids, when you do it with your kids, you don't help your kids to understand how the texture of your hair, there's nothing wrong with the texture of your hair. It's just different. It's just a different way for you to take care of it. But your hair can be amazing. So that's why I love it when you have hairstylists that really focus on natural hair. I absolutely love that. So, but yeah, I definitely don't think it's discussed enough. Absolutely not. So, all right, let me see what comments we got coming in. Let's see. So we got, okay, we already got to that one. We don't need to see him talking about, I don't listen, because I do. All righty, so let's see. Getting through. I think we got a lot of them coming in. Okay, so says Tammy, oh, do a poem about colorism. Oh, you know what? MarioMarion, I would, but I'm moderating, so I can't do one about colorism because I'm moderating. And so unfortunately, I can't do that. I apologize. You know, sometimes when we're doing a stream, when my camera's off, I'm sitting there creating a poem as it's going, but I can't do that right now because I'm moderating. So even though I would love to. So the next time we do one, I will do a poem on colorism then as like a makeup, we'll say. So he says, you know how to write one in a few minutes. It seems that way. And I think sometimes I can, but moderating won't allow me to do that. But I appreciate you asking if I could do that. So yeah, so DJ Eddie King, he says, Tammy agreed. And MarioMarion, he says, Luann, you write one. He says, you write one. So Miss Petty Penny, do you want to write one behind the scenes, or you don't have to, of course, as if you'd like to, but yeah, you're definitely welcome to write a poem.
That's a short notice.
Right, yeah. Right.
Dang.
Short notice.
Let me see. By the time I might have one by the time we're done.
Yes. So we'll see, and if we do, that'll be amazing and lovely because I'm not the only person that can write some poetry. Miss Petty Penny, she can write some poetry. So yes,
our two resident poets right there.
There we go. So, and
we learn from the best.
Yes. All righty. So next question. Lovely comments. Lovely responses. Let's get to question number 5, which is, do you believe there is such a thing as light skin privilege? Why or why not? So we're going to start with our guest, then Mrs. M3, and then Miss Petty Penny. All righty, Gold Crowns, are you still there? All righty. So question says, do you believe there is such a thing as light skin privilege? Why or why not? I don't know if you know you're muted. If you are muted, I'm not sure, but we can't hear you. We still can't hear you, sir. I'm sorry. No.
Hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Yes. Yes.
Unmuted. Okay, good. Thank you.
Did you need the question again?
If I believe there's such a thing as light skin privilege.
Yes.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I'm a member of a church which in its history you have what is called black and white church. So if you are black, you cannot go to a lighter skin church.
Interesting.
Yes.
It was like that in America, you know.
There are some in US. There are some in USA. I'm not really acquainted with the name because I'm not interested to research that. I don't believe in it. But there is. And even in home too. I grew up in a home in which there are two cousins. One was light skinned and one was darker skinned. And because of that, my grandmother treated the lighter skin better than the darker skin, just because of skin color. There was like separation of the two and how they were treated. So, and I don't think it is just in horror time. I think it's something which is coming from way back. That because of your skin color, you are privileged to some things, and you don't have right to some things. Yes, there is.
Interesting. Thank you very much. All righty, Mrs. M3, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like there is something as such a thing as light skin privilege? Why or why not?
My short answer is yes. And then my reason behind it is because a lot of the time we use the word privilege interchangeably for acceptance. And I think in our culture, in our society, that's, you know, basically what we're saying. Whenever we say pretty privilege, light skin privilege, we say, you know, we're really saying that someone is accepted either by society or they're accepted as normal in general by society, by people, by their family, acceptance. Yeah. So yeah, not really there.
Thank you, Mrs. M3. All righty, Miss Petty Penny. You there, Miss Petty Penny?
Yeah, sorry, I'm writing.
No, you're fine. So answer to the question. No, you're good. Do you think there's such a thing as light skin privilege? Why or why not?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, sometimes. Only for small things. But I do really believe that whether you light or dark or medium, if someone doesn't like you, they don't like you. You know, if they feel you're still going to be a threat to them because you're black. And that's the one thing that light skin and dark skin we have in common. No matter what, our skin is just a little bit still touched by the sun, and there's going to be someone who's afraid. You can be a light skin that looks like The Rock, and they're still afraid of you. And you can look like Tyrese, and they're going to run from you. You know, so it's the same thing. I really do put us in one boat, but I think in the inside we fight each other. I don't think it's really the outside that fights us with that. I think it's with each other that we put, oh yeah, she a red bone, or she hella dark, or you know, she chocolate. You know, I hear that a lot. Oh, she chocolate. You know, and so I think it's us putting those labels on ourselves. And so again, once we stop putting labels on ourselves, everyone else will stop. That's just my opinion.
Interesting. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Petty Penny. I like that. I like that. Okay, so real quick, let me read through these comments that are popping up. Pills in Ibiza is tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Says it's fascinating here. So many imbeciles having a frivolous conversation. So if we're talking about the frivolous conversations that people have as far as these topics, you know what? These topics are things that need to be discussed. So it doesn't make it frivolous if it needs to be discussed. So But thank you for tuning in.
Wait. Excuse me. Excuse me. What?
Yeah. So you know.
Wait. Can you go back to that comment? Let me see that. Let me see their profile. Yeah. Yeah. That's why your face is blanked. Come up on the screen if you're gonna talk. You know, kind of trashy. You know, show your face, sir or ma'am. All right, because these are the topics and the discussions that we need to have.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Petty Penny. Yes, these are they're not frivolous conversations because they're conversations that need to be have. Now you don't have to.
But you stop by though. But you stop by to check it out.
Right, exactly. You know, you ain't gotta like the conversation, but we glad you tuned in. Thank you very much. You helped to get it where we had another person watching. And please feel free to hit that like button.
Smash that like button on your way out.
On your thank
absolutely. So you know,
can you say it again for the people in the back? Okay, because you know I'm petty up on here. Okay, my name is real.
Yes, we got Petty on here for a reason. We got Miss Petty on here for a reason. So, all right, DJ the King says
they just tried to come for us.
Oh, of course. You know what? That's the beauty of YouTube is that anybody can think they can come for people, but that's why we can click your comment on or off. So
man, please don't come for us if we haven't sent for you. Okay?
Yes, thank you. DJ the King says this has been going on for many, many years. Light skin, dark skin, but now it's getting more crazier. Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Tony Montana says, I hate to say it like this, but darker black men gets treated very bad where I'm from, and the lighter black man gets treated better only when darker black men are around. Honestly, interesting. Tony Montana, where are you from? I'm just curious. Where are you watching from? Please let us know. That's a very interesting statement. Thank you for that. DJ says Tony Montana, where? Yep. And I just asked where he was from, and Tony, where she was from. Dallas. Thank you for tuning in from Dallas, Tony. Thank you very, very much. All righty. And he says, oh, okay. And he says, I haven't heard anything from Best in the World. What's going on? That's right. Best in the World always got something to say, and now he's on mute for some reason.
They're busy right now, hosting.
Man. Oh, that's right. They are doing some hosting. Okay. You are forgiven. All righty. Okay. So in response to that question, do I believe there is such a thing as light skin privilege? I absolutely do. We see it all the time. We see it even on TV. You see it on TV. You see it in movies. You even see it where I could even go to say when you have a movie where there is a character, an African-American character who is being portrayed by a lighter person, and that person is darker. We've seen that in different movies where you have it where somebody who is darker in real life is portrayed by somebody who is lighter, and there's all kinds of uproar when it comes to that. So I definitely think there is such a thing. You do get treated a certain kind of way when your skin is lighter, and it's not necessarily that this is something that darker people think. It's something that you see. And so, like I said, even before when I was talking about the movie, when she portrayed herself as white, she was treated differently. And, but that's the thing, like I said, we see it. And me being a teacher, I see it with kids. How they separate themselves, how they talk about somebody else because their hair is straighter, because their eyes are a certain color, because their skin is lighter. I even see it with kids at different schools that I've worked at. So I do believe there is such a thing. I'm not necessarily darker, so I can't say I've experienced any type of privilege in that way or advantage in that way, but I definitely believe it is a real thing. So did anybody have anything else they wanted to add before I go to the next question? Gold Crowns, I've seen you popped back up. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Most definitely. Even in Jamaica, when I was in high school, there are usually some discrimination against skin. If someone is arguing, they tend to pick at the person's skin color. So they were like saying black like tar.
I've heard that. I've heard my mother said that. I've heard that before.
Yes. And if your skin too red, they usually call them red herring. I don't if red herring is really red. But so even from high school, people face that. That even in argument they pick on skin color. And for me, I found it very disgusting.
You know, it's interesting because so my mother, now my mother is, I'd say, about my complexion. Maybe I could even say maybe a little bit lighter. And my mother experienced some colorism from her own mother. And so I didn't necessarily realize how that it is a big thing. I mean, as far as when my mother was younger, as far as colorism, when she was in Jamaica, when she experienced it with her own mother. I mean, I'm not going to get into details, but yeah, it's very, very interesting, and it's almost like in certain countries, you hear about it a lot as far as the light skin privilege. So that's why you have it where you have these women that are using bleach on their skin to have their skin lighter. It's really, really interesting. Mrs. M3, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say another movie that came to mind when you were talking about movies, the Nina Simone movie. The actors and actresses, they were upset because they used the actress that was the main character of Avatar in her blue skin. She just put on blackface to do Nina Simone, and they're like, all the beautiful dark skinned actresses. Yeah, you know that actress is beautiful too, but there are people Nina Simone shade that could have played the role. And they were very upset about that. For so many months, it was like a controversial topic of conversation.
And I think I remember hearing about that. And they do that a lot. Like if there's a character that you know was darker and they pick a lighter skinned person to play it, there's an uproar about that because people are not okay with that. So yeah, and I think I do remember what you're talking about as far as the Nina Simone one. I think I do remember that. So all righty, we're gonna move right along to question number 6. I like this question number 6. Let's see what it says and go. Yes. Okay, so what role does social media play in perpetuating colorism? All righty, Miss Petty Penny, do you want me to come back to you because I know you're writing? Miss Petty Penny, you there? Okay, we'll come back to you, Miss Petty Penny. Oh, there you are. Okay, so do you want to go ahead and answer this question, or I can come back to you?
No, let me go ahead and answer it.
Okay.
The poem is coming out good too.
Nice.
Yeah, social media has a lot to do with it. I don't know if you guys been listening and hearing about this young lady named I think her name is Danny Lynn. I guess it was the baby's baby mama. She wrote this song called Yellow Bone. And I actually listened to it. I actually thought it was kind of cute. But and her message wasn't to hurt anybody else, but she was just basically saying that her boyfriend at that particular time liked the yellow bone. But it came out to state that she was basically talking about his other baby mom because she was a darker complexion. And it was this big feud, and now they're no longer together. They said, "Oh, he must don't like yellow bones after all." Now so it's all this big commotion about being yellow boned and dark skin, and it's a great big thing still. That's feuding, I think it's kind of calming down right now, but it was really big because, Danny Lynn is very, very light skinned and she didn't consider herself black. She's actually like some type of different, I think her parents are Spanish or something, but and so they were saying, you're not even black. You've had interviews of saying that you're not black, and why are you portraying yourself as black? And I think her comment was, I have to now, I think it was on, I don't know if you guys follow this man, J, Jason Unlocked, Hollywood Unlocked. It was a young lady on Hollywood Unlocked who talked about it. I forgot her name, sorry. But she talked about how she had a conversation with Danny Lynn and asked her, are you now saying that you have to learn more about the Black history and Black culture because you're having a Black daughter, because your daughter is Black? And so now, I think that when it's played out like that on social media, we can actually see it. Now we can actually talk about it. But like I said in the beginning, if we're not talking about it out in the open, then our culture is we're not really open to discuss it, because we don't want people to know that we have really racism, but we have prejudice in our own culture.
Right. Awesome. Thank you, Mrs. Petty.
Yeah, I just wanted to add. I know that didn't really have to go together, but I just wanted to.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me get to these comments real quick. Okay, so Tony Montana says, I love this show already, LOL. And you know what, Tony, we love that you love the show. Thank you for tuning in and commenting. We absolutely love it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, please. Then you'll be notified whenever we're doing anything amazing. All righty. Blaze Brown says, good evening, fam. What's going on, Blaze Brown? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. DJ Eddie King says, Jamaica, respect. All right. And says, good evening at Blaze Brown. Knowledge Relationship says, Mr. Best in the World, there he is. He says, I'm here, DJ Eddie. He letting you know he ain't going nowhere. He's right there. All righty. And then once again, we got that link up for you. If you feel like coming on in, come on in. We would love to have you. All right. Mr. Best in the World says, shout out to JM. All righty.
Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica. Got it. Yes, definitely want to shout out Jamaica. Absolutely. And then shout out to Blaze Brown. All righty. Blaze Brown says, it's unfortunate colorism still exists. Yes, definitely unfortunate. And then Tony Montana says, yes, Blaze Brown, yes. So agrees with what you said, absolutely. All righty, Mrs. M3, what do you think as far as social media? What role do you think social media plays in perpetuating colorism?
You know, I'm so not versed in social media. I try to stay away from all the extras. I don't have an IG. I don't have a lot of things. I think here and probably Facebook are my go-to places. But I do teach students in high school, and they talk about different situations, different things. And I think that, you know, any kind of media has an influence on, especially the generations 25 and younger. What they see, they're still influenced by, because their brains are still developing.
Right.
Others of us, we've been influenced by other things in other generations. But definitely social media plays a huge role in how people see their self and self-esteem, and, you know, kids feeling bullied or not. You know, it all goes back to privilege is, you know, interchangeable with acceptance, right? Like, what does that mean? Accept, you're accepted, privileged to do or have something. And I think Miss Petty Penny was sharing specifically about how the prejudice exists within our own cultures. And I think when I really sit with it, prejudice, the microaggressions and things like that, it comes from that deep underneath of us that have insecurities about certain things. Like, we've done the things that we don't accept of ourselves. And so that's what makes it the prejudice. You know, well, you don't have blonde hair. Well, you know, yours came out of a Clairol box. You don't either. But we tend to, you know, look down on somebody based on the things that we've been told or conditioned are acceptable. And then when we see it in our own selves or within our own families, communities, homes, we don't want to call it, you know, prejudice necessarily, but it the deep down underlying of prejudice is insecurities. People, you know, even the microaggressions, like I know growing up, some people, they would, you come back from winter break or whatever, and oh, you're lighter. What you do? Like nothing. It's winter. Hello. You don't all stay the same color all year long. But it's like there's that little something in all of us. It's like we accept ourselves, we see ourselves, and sometimes we're like, you know what? Because of this or that part of society that accepts me when I'm doing this, if someone else is doing it, I'm not happy with them doing it. So I'm gonna be a microaggression. I'm gonna do a microaggression to them. It's not like we think through doing a microaggression, but we do it, and then it's like it comes from the insecurities within us, though. It comes from those things that we're not happy with ourselves about, and so we portray it, or we nitpick at it when we see it in other people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you, Mrs. M3. All righty. Go Crowns. It is on you. What are your thoughts about question number 6? What role does social media play in perpetuating colorism?
Wow, that's a tough question, really. Because I think in some ways, as you will realize that if you are of a certain skin color, you will not get likes for a certain from certain people. So that's how, and that is something which you can say happen every day on Facebook. So certain of your posts won't be read. You have to be in a certain class of color in order to get your recognition. So who is doing a show? Let's watch the skin color. If it's black, nah. That's what social media is doing. And in that way it is perpetuating it, because you will have other persons keep on following it. Just like even on Twitch, if you are playing a certain game, you won't get followers and subscribers if you are not of their skin color.
That's interesting.
And that's what happens every day. So it is perpetuating it, because these are things people have to do every day, and social media is an everyday interaction. And if it's gonna continue, if it's continuing every day, it is perpetuating it.
Right. Thank you for that. Thank you very, very much. All righty. So as far as my answer to the question, I think that social media plays a big role, just because it is something that a lot of people deal with on a daily basis. So for me, see, I'm unlike Mrs. M3. I got an Instagram, I got a Snapchat, I got a Facebook, I got a TikTok now. And it's interesting because, that is how a lot of companies, how they promote themselves is on social media. And even like a lot of movies and songs and TV shows, all these different things, they promote themselves on social media, trying to get your attention. And so even with sometimes on Facebook, you might see where it'll say they have like a darker skin model who is very dark skinned, and it'll say something like, I'm probably not going to get any likes. It'll say something like that, which I understand the thinking behind saying that, but in a way, I don't like it, just because it's almost like you're telling people, oh, you need to do this because I'm darker skinned, not just because I'm a beautiful person, but because you feel bad about the fact that I don't get enough likes. So you should go ahead and like it. And it shouldn't be that way. So I feel like social media is very influential because it gets to so many different people in so many different places, so many different countries, that it reaches every different area in the world. So it can have a positive or a negative influence. And I do feel like a lot of times it has a negative influence because of the fact that anybody can post anything on social media to where anybody can see it. And once it's out there, it's out there. So if you choose to do something that is perpetuating colorism, everybody's going to see that and flock to that. And so I do think it is true that, you know, when you are a certain, have a certain skin tone, you may get more likes than somebody else because you do, which goes back to the whole thing where it says, oh, I'm not going to get enough likes. So, and so then you end up liking it because, oh, I feel bad because they don't have enough likes. So I feel like social media is very, very influential in that I feel like it, in some ways it can be the biggest influence when it comes to colorism. So in that case, we can use it to where it, if we were smart enough, we could use it to where it wasn't a perpetuating colorism and was doing the opposite. But in reality, you do what is going to get the most attention. So if you feel like somebody who looks a certain way won't get as much attention, you're not going to put that out there. You're going to put what you think people want to see and people are going to like. And so if that means that you're going to show this light-skinned person because you feel like that's what's going to sell your movie, or people listen to your song or watch your TV show, that's what you're going to do. So I feel like it plays a very big role in either promoting it or not promoting it. So yeah, so I think it's definitely has a huge role, especially now, because when I was younger, there wasn't all this stuff. When I was younger, I think the biggest thing was MySpace. That was like the biggest thing. There wasn't no Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But now there's so many different platforms that you can use to promote things and show things. And so I feel like I said, that it has a big role, but it can have a big role, not in perpetuating colorism, but doing the opposite. So, but it is about, you know, what you think is going to sell. And if it sells, that's what you want to promote. So yeah, definitely think the role is huge. Definitely. All righty. Do we have any other comments, or should I say feedback before we move on to the next question? Let me go ahead and read. Go ahead, Ms. Simpson.
Not so much to do with colorism, but you see, like you're watching movies now, and maybe it's like a streaming app, and the main characters, the ones that you know from the big screen, like their names aren't even in the mention at the beginning of the movie, and then they're in the movie. You're like, I didn't even see their name as starring, featuring, nothing. Like, why are streaming apps like leaving people out? Like, and then you see what used to be not acceptable and actually was prohibited, the actors and actresses have the cigarettes in their hand now again, like, and they're smoking in the movies and things, and they're like, these things were like gone for like at least 2 decades, and now they've popped back up because streaming has different rules than regular television has. So I just thought that was interesting, besides just colorism, but you know, African American actors not getting the mentions like they would normally if they were on the big screen.
Yep. Go ahead, Miss Petty Penny.
I don't know if you guys seen this movie. Is #1 on Netflix right now, and our girl did it, Halle Berry, with the movie called Bruised. If you have not,
I want to watch that.
Yes, if you have not
added to my list. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to watch that. Yes.
Watch it. She has 2 love interests in there, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But one of the love interests, I'm just going to say it's a woman. But it has been a lot of I don't really want to give the movie away if you haven't really watched it, but it's been a lot of backlash of why they chose that particular lady. And me personally, I thought she was dope. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, go ahead. You know, but when you watch it, you will understand. It's a whole lot of colorism after, and it's about our own people. Why can't the movie just be good and us say, "Oh, well, damn, she did a good job," you know? At least she didn't have to fuck Billy Bob Thornton again. You know what I'm saying? That was a horrible scene, you know. And so, that won her.
That's who that was.
Yo, it was a horrible scene that won her an Oscar, but you do what you got to do, right? But if you haven't seen the movie, ladies and gentlemen, please get some time to go out and watch that movie. But
thank you. Yes,
the backlash is horrible.
Yes, I definitely want to watch that movie. I haven't. I added it to my list because I seen a preview.
Tammy, girl, when you watch it,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Have you seen it, M3, Miss M3? See,
I do see it. I like her accent.
We on something.
Yeah, I like her accent actually. She's a likable character. She's
I do.
Likable character. Yeah.
She can be. Never mind.
The comments, Mr. Best in World says, I'm all colors. Well, you know what? Go ahead, Mr. Crayon Box. He said, I'm all colors. Go ahead, Mr. Crayon Box. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Tony Montana says, DJ Eddie King, I looked you up on Facebook and can't see your face. Why are you hiding? You know what? That's a question that a lot of people ask because he don't never want to show his face. A lot of people ask that question. A lot of people.
Well, if y'all would, if you would see his face,
he says, I'm just thinking when it comes to pictures. I need the right one to be posted up. Well, hey, you know what? There you go. He says,
if you see that face, you'll tell him to cover it up too. Okay.
He says, yes, it's just not the right time to post any at the moment. Well, you know, hey, when you're ready to post a picture, Eddie King, you post a picture. And that's the interesting thing is like, you know, sometimes you got to get that right picture because sometimes no matter how many pictures you take, you just ain't getting it right the way you like it. No matter how somebody else might, oh, that's a nice picture. If you don't think it's a good picture, you ain't finna post it. So,
but always know you use filters, right?
Yeah, you
always know you can use those filters. They are
that's true.
People.
That's true. Thank you, Miss Penny.
I'm looking forward to her poem.
Yeah, I am too. I
hope it's good. It's rushed, but it's all right.
But you know what? We got you. We gonna spotlight you.
Oh,
before we do our goodbyes, we gonna spotlight you for sure.
And I took out these earrings.
Next question is number 7. Says, do you feel that parents show colorism when it comes to their children, either the ones they have raised or the ones that their children are friends with? I want to speak first on this only because I'm a parent. So, and I don't know, Gold Crowns, if you are a parent, we definitely we're going to get your input, of course. I don't do colorism with my daughter. I mean, my daughter, I don't care who her friends are, as long as her friends treat her right. I will say that there is somebody who I wouldn't necessarily say she practices colorism, but she doesn't necessarily inform her child about what it means to be Black, because her mixed. And they don't have those conversations, which I think is a very dangerous thing, in my opinion. I think that if your child is mixed, they need to be aware of what it means to be Black, because whether you mixed with a little bit or a lot of it, you're still Black. So I definitely think certain conversations are important to have. And even at the age of my daughter is about to be 9, and in not that long, in about a week, in about a week and a couple of days, she's going to be 9 years old. But even at 7 and 8, I've had conversations with her about what it means for her to be Black, so she can understand it. I do think that sometimes you have it where some parents can play colorism with their kids. Where if you have a child that is light skinned, you may look at your child a certain kind of way, do their hair a certain kind of way. So, and even colorism can even be in the way that you care about your child's hair.
Right.
So when the hair is not as coarse, you may feel like it's easier to do and not really you may not do everything you need to, but just because the hair is not coarse doesn't necessarily mean you should take less care with the one who is coarse or more care. It's just about accurate care and appropriate care is what it is. So different hair types need different hair care. So it's about understanding that. So when you may have a child whose hair is finer, whose hair is not as coarse, whose hair may be straighter or curly or less curly, whatever it is. You need to learn about if you don't know, learn about how to take care of your child's hair. Learn about what your child needs. If you have a child that is where you may not want to put sunscreen on your child who is dark because they're darker, doesn't necessarily mean they don't need sunscreen. So I think that it's about knowing your children, knowing what your children need, knowing that even if your child is dark or light, that they can play with whoever. But that's the thing, is you have to look at how a parent grows up and what their lifestyle is like when they're growing up. Because if you're used to a certain lifestyle, you may not want someone to come into that to disturb the lifestyle that you're used to. So, and it's interesting because there was an episode of a court show. I think it was Judge Maybelline, and there was a girl on there who she was light skinned, and I don't know if this was like a skit or something, if it was real, but she was very like, my mother, she cleaned houses, and I'm not her. I'm not dark like her. And it's sad to hear a child say that, but then you wonder, why is a child saying things like that? Why haven't they learned to love themselves and who they are and know that even if your mother is darker, that's your mother. That's your mother. So you came out of that woman. So you might be lighter than her, doesn't make you better than her. So I do think there are some times that parents can do that. And even, when you have kids, even in schools, when you see some parents that come in and just the way that they are with their children, is just very interesting to watch. So anyway, that's my input on that. Miss Petty Penny, I'm gonna let you go, and then Gold Crowns, and then Mrs. M3. So, Mrs. Petty Penny, what is your response to question number 7?
I do think that parents do it. I think they do it self-conscious, not self-consciously. They're probably not really trying. I have a
we can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry, my phone rang.
You cut out for a second.
I have a light-skinned brother, and the rest of his siblings are dark. And the person, it was I want to be very careful of how I say it, but it had been some discussions that this person was treated differently. This is the person's favorite son because he's lighter, and he's the one that seems to have it going on, and he's the one that seems to have more business going on than the darker one. And so it was stated that this one is the lightest one. So I because I just think that every Black person is just Black, I didn't really look at it like that until someone actually brought it to my attention. And then, I could, just vividly see that this person is just their favorite. But I don't know if it has anything to do just because this person is lighter. I just think this person just have more in common with this person. And that's just because I know them personally. So yeah.
Interesting. Thank you, Miss Petty Penny. All righty, Gold Crowns. What are your thoughts on question number 7? What are your thoughts?
I haven't experienced it myself, but I heard it from other family members around me. And it was not a mother, as I said, it was a grandmother, and it was a situation in which both of the children were going to heat. And there was only one chair in the house at the time. And the grandmother took the lighter skin and gave her the chair. And then the darker skin have to sit on the ground and eat.
Interesting.
So, that was that situation in which I learned. So yes, so in my society, that was the experience where parents show colorism. But on the friendly category, not really. Just that, as I said, I grew up in a church that if your complexion was too dark, they treat you like an outcast. So yes, I answer yes to that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mrs. M3, before we get to you, I'm going to read some of these comments that are coming through. All righty. So DJ King was wondering, and I think this is to Tony Montana, why are you worrying about what I look like? LOL. Tony Montana says, LMAO. Okay, I'll stop, DJ. And then we got Atlanta Thrasher in the house. Atlanta Thrasher, thank you for tuning in. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Thank you for tuning in to Ladies Night. All righty. DJ the King says, hop on the stream and let us see how you look. And then Tony Montana says, too shy. Sorry. LOL. All right. DJ the King says,
excuses.
Anyways, yes. At the topic, I believe parents show colorism when it comes to their kids all the time. It separates sisters and brothers in the family. I've seen it happen a lot. Interesting. Were you saying something a second ago, Penny? No? Okay. Wait. Okay. So it says, MarioMarion, he says he wants to shout out Gold Crowns in his participation. Absolutely. Definitely, Gold Crowns. We absolutely appreciate you coming onto the panel and giving your feedback on all these questions. Thank you so much. You're welcome anytime we are doing something on knowledge relationships. You definitely tune in and give your feedback. Absolutely. Blaze Brown says, another awesome show. Thank you, Blaze Brown. And you are awesome for tuning in. So thank you. Atlanta Thrasher, he has the little up. I think, and then we could turn out to be, get those likes up. All righty. MarioMarion, yes, indeed. Says Golden Crown, you said you were from South Africa. Are you? No, he said he's from Jamaica. I think he said Jamaica because I asked him if he was from Jamaica. He said he was. So yeah, and I could hear that Jamaican accent. Trust and believe.
Yes, I'm from Jamaica.
Yes, trust and believe. When my mother was upset, that Jamaican accent came out strong. And also, whenever she would get around some of her Jamaican friends, or she was talking to them on the phone, the accent just spills out a lot more when she's talking to people that are also Jamaican. So yeah. All righty. Atlanta Thrasher says, hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. We are glad to have you, Atlanta Thrasher. Thank you very, very much. And Atlanta Thrasher says, he's too shy. He's chicken. And I think that's as far as him getting on the stream. Well, you know what, Atlanta Thrasher, I think one day you'll get on there. I can see you on there one day. It says, JK.
He's been on before.
Oh, I'm mad I wasn't on that one. I wish I'd have been on that one. MarioMarion says, I'm over here. Click. Okay, so here we go. So wait. Okay, there we go. So he says, you should join the live stream. Don't be too shy. Yes, never be too shy. Says, men and women, yes, here we go with the link once again. If you want to join in, there is a link to join in. We'll have it pop up once again for you so you can get on, because we definitely love it when people want to join in the conversation live and alive. All right, Atlanta Thrasher says, at MarioMarion, while I understand the topic, what I'm hearing royally confuses me, and I don't know if I'm the right person to chime in on this topic, LOL. You know what? We appreciate you saying that, Atlanta Thrasher, because you probably wouldn't experience colorism. But what I will say is you may have seen colorism. So you may have seen where somebody who was light-skinned had something to say about somebody who was dark skinned or vice versa. So it might not be something that you've experienced yourself, but it may be something that you've seen at one point or another. So so if you wanted to chime in, that's probably how you could. So yeah, but yeah, you could definitely chime in if you want to. MarioMarion says, my bad. And Thrasher says, me, question mark, I've been on here. Yeah, and I wasn't on there, and I'm kind of mad about that, Atlanta Thrasher. Because, you know, I would see when you comment, and I guess I didn't get to see when you was on here. I just kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of sad I missed that. And MarioMarion says, I believe in you, Atlanta Thrasher. DJ Eddie King says, like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get them likes up. Absolutely, yes. Get them likes up. We want to see them likes go up, up, up. Yes. All right, Lamb Thrasher at MarioMarion. I think you're baiting me. He might be baiting you. You never know. And Tony Montana says he subscribed. She subscribed already. Thank you, Tony Montana. Thank you. Yes, she subscribed, and we love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for tuning in. And we're hoping that one day, maybe you might want to be on the Ladies Night panel one day. We'll see. All righty. And MarioMarion says, don't be cold turkey. Don't be cold turkey. Tammy, I was on a date. Oh, my God. There is no Tyrone. Y'all kill me with the Tyrone. There ain't no Tyrone. Y'all are killing me. Y'all kill me with that. All righty. So, ladies, have you seen DJ? So, I've known DJ for, I can't remember how many years. It's been a lot of years. So, I know what he looks like. I know what he looks like because I've seen him in person. So we've been friends, gosh, I think I could say probably 15 years, probably 15 years. Than that. So yeah. So I've seen him in person. I've seen everybody who's except for Gold Crowns on the panel right now, but Miss Petty Penny and Mrs. M3, I've seen both of them in person. Beautiful ladies, both of them. So yeah, so I have seen them. So he says, yeah, you said you'll stop. Come on now. So yeah, so Tony Montana DJ is asking if you would please stop. Because he does not want you to continue to worry about what he looks like. So yeah, so he doesn't want to make it through that. Alrighty, so we're on to our very last question of the stream. I'm not sure who is making that noise.
Me, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're down to the very last question. So we're going to do this question, give our feedback, and then we are going to hear the lovely poem that the amazing Petty Penny wrote, especially for this stream. So I'm excited. I'm excited to hear it. All righty. Question number 8 will show right about now. Look at that. Boom. How does someone heal from experiencing colorism, and whose responsibility is it for that healing? Very, very interesting question. We're going to go to Mrs. M3, Miss Petty Penny, and then our guest. Mrs. M3, what are your thoughts about this last question?
So someone experiencing colorism, how do they heal? And whose responsibility is it for that healing? Man, surround yourself with people, like-minded people, people that are going to support you, and that don't mind you being who you are. We're uniquely, each and every one of us, ourselves. No one on this planet can ever be us. Even if we are identical twins with somebody, they can't be us, right? So surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who support your dreams, your aspirations, who help you in your self-actualization, who don't give you negative vibes to chew on, to feast on. Get rid of that. Just cleanse your heart, cleanse your mind, and go for that self-actualization that helps you to be the best person that you can be, regardless of what people think outside of you. That's the first step to healing from experiencing colorism, racism, ageism. The last question I didn't answer, but yeah, not experiencing so much a family of parents that are necessarily colorism driven, but more ageism and sexism driven. Like the boy can do this, the girls can't. This older one is responsible for this and this and that. The younger one is responsible for this and this and that. Knowing who you are as life unfolds in front of you is the best healing process that you can go through. Getting it for yourself and just surrounding yourself with people that love and support your journey. That's what I'd say.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. M3. So before we get to Miss Petty Penny, we have a guest. It is Atlanta Thrasher. We have a guest. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome to you.
Oh my goodness. I'm not going to be called out by Mario. I'm just not going to do it.
I'm so glad you're on here because you always comment, but I never get to see you because you always just comment, and I'm mad that whichever stream that you got on, I wasn't there. I'm kind of mad about that, but it's okay.
I'm usually available on Ladies' Night. That's the weird thing is my son and my computer is in his room, and when it's a school night, I have to just be quiet over here in my corner because I just love the content and. I'm just like, ignore the computer glow. Go back to sleep.
Well, I'm glad you are on here.
I appreciate it.
Yes. No, I do want to ask a question of you. So as far as colorism, is that something that you've seen at all? Or is that something that you've just never seen? Or have you ever heard of colorism or anything like that? What are your thoughts just on the topic of colorism just in general?
Never heard it by that term until a few weeks ago, and it was actually in here. The city I work and live in is actually majority Hispanic now. So I'm in one of those rare situations where I'm a minority. For a while in my last job, I actually worked with two guys who were actually from Mexico, and one of them was lighter skinned than the other, and they would rip into each other sometimes. But they would also rip into me for being white. So after working with them for a while, it kind of seemed more like it was some cultural machismo BS. From the way I heard it, seemed like it was a cultural status thing. I didn't really delve into it too deep because it kind of wasn't my business and it wasn't my struggle. But I mean, I guess in the white community, the closest thing we got to it is rednecks and hillbillies. So, and hicks. But I dare not actually go out on a limb and say they're the same thing. When they would talk about it to each other, I'm just, totally flabbergasted. And I'm just like, man, of all the stuff I hear in the news about white racism and supremacy, and I just hear everybody else digging on themselves. It kind of breaks my heart. I don't understand it. I mean, to me, we're all humans. We're all God's kids. I don't get it. And I think the last time I was hearing this came up, I did say that I brought up that I think back in the 50s and 60s that a tan used to be considered working class, and it was kind of looked down upon. And now you got every white girl, when white girl summer comes around, running to the tanning bed. I don't get it. That's that. The sun's trying to kill me. I try to stay away from it. I don't need a tan. I got like permanent scarf armor tans if you catch it in the right lighting. But man, I don't get it. I don't see it. Anybody hating on each other based on a shade or anything, even from one spectrum to the other, just blows my mind. I just don't get it. I understand, like, if you're grown up in this country and this is the way the family structure is, and you come over to another place and everybody does everything different, while there's like a learning curve and a kickback about like, I don't want to be that way, or you can't make me be that way. I get that, but I don't know. You got me. That's pretty much all I can add. Besides, take that, Mario. I said something. And I shoved my face.
No, we appreciate any feedback that you gave. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love to hear the insight though, because I mean, from my point of view, we don't have a very large black population. Most of them live up right across the Tennessee border. There's a bigger population there, and of course Atlanta. And I like to. I was told. I tell people that if somebody airdropped me into like Salt Lake City, Utah, I would go crazy because there's too many white people out there. I would just no way. I need that change. I mean, I benefit from what everybody brings to the table. Nice. I like the culture. I like the foods and the music, the spirituality. I can't be around that many white people. I go crazy.
I love that answer. I love that. Thank you.
But yes, thank you for having me. I'm going to drop that now. I just definitely didn't want to be called out by Mario without showing him I can do it.
Do you want to shout yourself out real quick before you go?
It's no big deal. I'm a Twitch streamer. I play bass guitar on there. I play some rock.
Hold on. Let me spotlight you real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a spotlight you.
I appreciate
it. Let me see if I. There we go. Hold on. I'm a spotlight you. There you go.
Yeah, I found y'all on Twitch because I'm a Twitch guy. I do play bass guitar. I actually got done playing just a little while ago. Don't ask me to play something. It's too quiet. And if I have to plug up my amp, I'm going to get kicked out of my apartment. But yeah, I play Rocksmith on there. I play all sorts of songs. It's a little Christmassy time now, so I'm going to squeeze in some Christmas music every now and then. But I don't Twitch for money. I Twitch because I feel like if people are watching, that I'll actually practice longer. And while I'm there, I support links for a charity. I think it's called jazzfoundation.com. I can't remember. It helps jazz musicians and blues musicians find work because, of course, COVID and whatnot, and the music genre is kind of struggling right now. So they help find them outdoor concerts and teaching gigs and like assemblies at schools and old folks' homes and stuff like that. So that's my favorite genre of music, and they're not really affiliated with me. They don't know who I am, but my place is more of I got 5 minutes to kill. Let's go see what this crazy guy's doing for 2 minutes.
Nice. Awesome.
But that's it for the most part.
So thank you so much for coming on and giving your feedback on the topic. We really appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Thank you for shining some light on this subject, and I hope I stay confused because I don't think I really do want to understand it. But I'm going to bow out. Thank you all for having me. I'm going to keep watching.
Thank you. All righty, nice. Thank you so much. Okay, real quick. Let me read these comments real quick. Gold Crowns, did you have something you wanted to say?
Most definitely.
Okay, so let me read these comments real quick, and then we will get to you. So MarioMarion said, Tammy, you do know you can mute people. Well, I could, but I like it if people just mute themselves if they can. But he says, answer to the question, he's saying no one will ever heal from colorism. Interesting perspective. He says they just grow to hate themselves. I mean, I would say some people probably have. The people that learn to understand themselves and have a better self-image. So the ones that don't heal from it, I could see them growing to hate themselves. Absolutely. And Tony Montana says, well said. MarioMarion says, unless they become financially successful, then nothing matters because you'll have people of all colors will kiss your ass. I agree with that. Money talks. Money definitely talks, for sure. Absolutely agree. He says, ha, 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 it worked. I think this is to Atlanta Thrasher because he said, I fed him the bait and he ate it. So welcome to Atlanta Thrasher. Yes, we were happy to have him on the show. He says, good job, Atlanta Thrasher. He's proud of you. Atlanta Thrasher says, no, at MarioMarion, I'm proud of you. And it says, a virtual hug, 5 buddies. Nice, nice. All righty. Okay, back to our lovely, lovely question we have, which is, how does someone heal from experiencing colorism? Whose responsibility is it? And for that healing, I think we'll have Gold Crowns and then Luann. I think that was the order. Was that the order I said before? I'm not sure. Oh, was it? Okay. All right. So go ahead and Gold Crowns. What are your thoughts on this last question?
Yes, as there's an old quote which says, Surround yourself with people who reflect who you want to be and how you want to feel. Energies are contagious.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
The best thing to do is to associate with people who is totally against colorism.
Yes,
or if you want
definitely.
to call it anti-colorism people, put it that way.
Yeah, there you go.
And when you do that, you will find a greater meaning in your life. You will start to accept yourself for who you are and know that, listen, I am important to these people, and I don't care what the other negative set of people want to think. Because at the end of the day, their negative attitude won't go anywhere. They won't go anywhere. They won't progress. You cannot progress with colorism. You cannot progress with something which is destroying others and lowering others. You are only making yourself worse, if you want to put it that way. But the important thing is a positive self-image. Think of yourself positive. Always tell yourself that you are unique. Always tell yourself that there is none like you. And God placed you here because you are special. And you come into this world as a champion, and you will leave this world as a champion. That's my thought.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Gold Crowns. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for that. I absolutely love what you had to say. Thank you. Atlanta Thrasher says he feels so loved. And Mario says, move myself to the top left. To the top left. Oh, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. All righty, Miss Petty Penny. It is your turn, my dear, to give us your thoughts on that last question. What is your thought on this question?
Maturity. How does someone heal from experiencing colorism? Whose responsibility is it for that healing? Yourself, because you ultimately choose what you take in and what you hear and what you believe. Yeah. If someone is telling you that you're ugly because you're too dark and you're taking that in, if it's a child, it's hard for them to decipher. But if you're older like me, I can care less what you say, and so you have to, I guess you have to, I think it comes with maturity where you let those kind of comments roll off your back, where you don't let that kind of stupidity affect you, because at that time, you know who you are, and you're a little stronger to handle those kind of comments, and it's a time to educate someone. You can use that time to do that as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Petty Penny. Atlanta Thrasher says, let's go Twitch. Let's go Twitch. All right, so real quick, before we get to the beautiful, beautiful poem that Miss Petty Penny wrote, my thoughts on the question, you guys have to forgive me, my contact is not cooperating right now. Okay. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so really quickly, whose responsibility is it and how do they heal? I feel like maturity, I agree with Miss Petty Penny when she said maturity. Having a positive self-image is something that can help you to heal. And surrounding yourself with the right kind of people that love you for who you are, not necessarily what you look like on the outside, are all positive things that can help you to heal. And addressing that trauma, because that's what colorism is. It is a trauma that you experience. So addressing that trauma and dealing with it rather than pushing it to the side, because we know that when you push trauma to the side and pretend like it wasn't there, it will present itself when you don't want it to. So definitely those things, I think, are the things that can help you to heal. As far as whose responsibility it is your own responsibility to heal from that, because the reality is nobody else can heal from it but you. So you have to find those things that are positive influence in your life that can help you to progress and, find ways to have a better self-image. I think sometimes that can be the hardest thing to do when you don't surround yourself with positive people. When you have people that are full of drama, people that create conflict, that's only going to keep drama and conflict in your life. So getting rid of those things that are not benefiting your life in a positive way, I definitely think is one of the ways you can do that. But yeah, that self-image is so extremely important. If you don't have a praying life, you might want to start having a praying life. And have conversations with people that have healed from it. I feel like having conversation with people that have experienced it and healed from it is definitely something that can be healing for you. Because if you don't know ways to heal, those are things that can help you by hearing from other people. So when you hear from people that have experienced what you've gone through, it can definitely be healing for you. So that's what I got to say about that. Really quickly, before we get to the poem, I'm going to read the last bit of comments that are coming in. So we got, let's see, it says, it says, at Khalil Bailey, hello. Or did I say Khalil Bailey? Oh yeah, Khalil Bailey, hello. Kyle Fartenhouse, I'm sorry. He says, I should live, ? And is this live? Yes, this is live, absolutely. And says that they're experiencing colorism. I'm sorry to hear that if you actually are. If you're trying to heal from that, there are ways to do that. We did just talk about that. So definitely a positive self-image. Definitely surrounding yourself with positive people are all different things that you can do. Let's see. And Atlanta, yes, this is live. Like I just said, yes. This is it is an important topic, absolutely. And that's one of the questions we had as far as it being discussed. It is not discussed enough. And I think that, once we get to where it's discussed enough, then, we can start to work on making it better. Donna Montana says, DJ, I'll look you up and oh my God, this is not dating. Come on now. But yes, Atlanta Thrasher, they mostly do the chatting in their YouTube channel, which I saw you. Interesting. Okay, and Gold Crowns that says thanks at the Atlanta Thrasher. I'm sorry. I just read a comment. I'm not gonna post it, but I read a comment. So okay, so I'm sorry. Says okay, so thank you at Gold Crowns. All righty. Tony Montana, don't tell us his secret identity. I think he's Daredevil, the man without fear. Interesting. Okay. And wait, I need to get my eyes checked. I saw the wrong name. All righty. So LMAO, Atlanta Thrasher. And Kyle, join the YouTube chat and join the live stream. Yes, absolutely, definitely. And if anybody wants to join, you can. We only have a little bit longer, but you can definitely come in and give your feedback before we take it off. But Miss Petty Penny, are you ready?
I always stay ready, even when I'm not ready.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spotlight you, my dear. It is your turn. Ready?
I just want to let y'all know that I'm a beautiful Black queen.
Nope, not me. Hold on, wait. There we go. Yay! All righty, go ahead, girl.
Hair. I'm even pretty without my lashes and makeup. All right, so y'all won't see my face while I read the poem because I kind of wrote it on a little notepad, not in front of me, but on the phone. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and I'll be right back. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay, so the
Yes,
poem
we
is
can hear you.
called, I guess I just named it Me. I don't really have a real big title for it yet, so maybe y'all can help with the title. All right, so it goes. Can y'all still hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Yes? Okay. So it says, I love my skin from out and from in. The way it shines like a diamond and kissed from the sun. The tone is perfection from the God. He gave me the chosen color. No matter light or dark, I'm in love with all brown skins. I love my skin from out and from in. The deep richness it manifests possess a super magical touch only my skin has. And I would not change it for nothing more. My beautiful skin is my glory. It's my soul. My skin is perfectly made for me, and I love it. P.S. Just remember, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The end.
Beautiful, man. It's okay.
He's crazy.
Yes, 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 yes.
It was not that good, Tammy.
Turned down for what?
Right? Yes, thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
take the spotlight off of me.
Thank
Even
you,
though I
Miss
like
Petty Penny. Thank you very, very
Hopefully it
much.
was okay, just in
Yes,
a short
that was
amount of
lovely.
time.
No, that was good. That was very nice. I'm sure everybody who was listening appreciated it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right. Yes. Okay. So you guys, we are at the end of our stream. We are at the end of our stream. But before we do, let me read the last of these comments before I let everybody shout each other out. So that was the YouTube link that Atlanta Thrasher listed. And Thrasher says, DJ Eddie King at Tony Montana looks at you like it's the best in the world looks at me. And Nasha Relations says, DJ Eddie said that he's married to you and Luann, but y'all didn't invite me to the wedding. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, he says,
I wasn't invited to that wedding either, but okay.
But okay, so so as far as you couldn't see her, she had said that she wasn't going to show her face while she was doing the poem because she was looking at her papers, so that's why you weren't able to see her.
No, I wasn't able to look at the text and you guys at the same time. So I do apologize.
And then he says, "Wait, what? No, I'm married to Tammy and LuannLove. Thank you, Hank." This is hilarious.
Listen. Tammy can be my sister wife any day. I'm just saying, you know.
Oh shit, hold on. Okay, so Go Crown says great. Atlanta Thrasher says, ooh. Somebody says, LOL, whatever. And then says, LOL, you're not married. LOL. And Atlanta Thrasher says, that was great. LOL. And then says, next time my son needs a juice, I'm gonna do a double take. LOL. DJ Eddie King says, OMG, and says, come get her, please. Come get her, please. All righty, guys. So we are going to let everybody shout themselves out for our lovely, lovely end of the stream. So we're going to start with our guest. We're going to start with our guest, Mr. Gold Crowns. If you want to shout out your social media or anything like that, you are more than welcome to. We're going to spotlight you now. Here you go, sir.
It was great to be a part. I enjoyed it. And I'm hoping to be a part of your next stream. And much respect to you all.
Thank you so much. Yes, you definitely can be a part of the streams that we do. Absolutely. Yeah, if you hit the notification bell, you'll always know about when we're doing a stream, whether it's on Saturdays or whether it's on Mondays or Thursdays or any other days. So your input is definitely welcome. So thank you so much for coming on and participating. You were amazing. All righty, we're gonna go ahead and get Mrs. M3. Mrs. M3, it is your turn, my love. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. You can find me here on Knowledge and Relationships live stream on Saturdays, and you can see me in the comments during the weekday. We appreciate you so much. We love you. We thank you for your support, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mrs. M3. And then our lovely poet, Mrs. Petty Penny.
Hello, I'm Miss Petty Penny, aka Miss Lou. And you can find me here on Knowledge and Relationships on Saturday with the women. I'll be off and on in here. Also on Saturdays, you can find me with at 12. It's called Brunch with Dom and Luann. So come and check us out. We have some good topics, and we will be back by next week, I believe. Yes. Also, my Facebook is LuannLove. Instagram is Ladybug5150, and I will add you if I see your face on there. For the guests, thank you for bringing your Jamaican accent. I love listening to your voice. It kind of did something to me tonight. So thank you for being on our cast.
Thank you, Miss Betty. All righty, now we're up to me. I am your lovely host. I am First Lady Tammy. You can see me on my Instagram, First Lady Tammy 916. You can also find me here on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when we do Ladies Night. I may be hosting, but I might have one of my lovely ladies doing the hosting, and I'm just participating. So, and yes, you can definitely tune into Damo and Luann on their brunch that they do. What's that called again, Luann?
It's called Brunch with Dom and Luann.
Yes. So yeah. I saw the first one they did, and it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know if I enjoyed it, you will enjoy it too. But also definitely like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we're doing anything that's amazing. And you know what that is? Everything, because everything we do is amazing. So I'm super glad you guys tuned in. Definitely make sure you tune in again when we are doing something extra special. But on that note, we are going to really quick. Oh, we are going to. What are y'all pointing at?
Luann has her hand raised.
Oh, okay.
I know this is just an added.
What's going on,
Luann? An added thing. I know that Knowledge and Relationships don't push it, but it will be really good if you guys can help donate, because it helps the stream continue. So please, if you have $2, $5, $10 extra, please help donate so that our stream can prosper. All right. Thank you. That's all I wanted to add.
Thank you, Luann. Yes, definitely hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. All righty. So other than that, we are going to kick it off by saying goodbye for now until we see you next time. And with that, we are.
Hi, DJ Ed. DJ Ed snuck in there.
Oh, DJ Eddie King.
Hey, husband.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, y'all. I just want to say, hey, great show. Thanks to the people that's in the chat. Thank you for showing. Thank you so much. And the other people, there are super fans out there. Thank you too. Anyway, yeah. I just want to come in to say thank you. Great show. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah,
do my husband need some soup? Because his voice sounds kind of froggish.
Yeah, listen, I need security, so I think I'm gonna need security. Okay.
Thank you.
That won't leave me alone. So I just need to. I need I need you right now.
All right, baby. I'm coming with you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I guess we're out. But you know, right. I'm not handling the outro, so I'll let our person behind the scenes handle the outro. But we're out. We'll see y'all next time.
Okay, nice to meet you, Gold Crowd. Nice to meet you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
The DJ.